Hello! Today we're going to talk about comparative negligence and what that means as a driver who's been in an accident and how that can affect insurance or how insurance comes into play. And as always, one of our main goals is to help you save money on insurance. And so you're going to want to head over to our page autoinsurance.org, and it has a great free quote comparison tool. Enter your zip code, answer some questions, and you're going to have a bunch of car insurance quotes that you can compare and see if you could be saving money by switching to a different provider. We don't want you to be stuck just because you've been with someone for a while. We don't want you to be stuck paying higher premiums than you have to. So let's jump right in to comparative negligence. Now, this is a legal term, so I'm going to look at this Forbes Advisor article and we'll look and see a definition for that, and then we will apply it to driving laws on the road, those kind of things that would happen in a real life accident. So here, I'll start here. Comparative negligence is a partial defense in tort cases. Tort cases, what's that? Tort cases is when somebody is at fault. So when we're talking car insurance, there are some no-fault states and there are some tort states. In both cases, for the most part, we'll just leave Michigan out of this, but for all the other states, property damage is still the responsibility of the person that caused the accident. But in no-fault states, bodily injury costs become the responsibility of each party. So if I caused an accident and you were injured in that accident and it was in a no-fault state, I would not be responsible for your injury costs initially. Your personal injury protection insurance would cover that. And so if you want to get quotes on personal injury protection, if you live in a no-fault state, go to autoinsurance.org, enter your zip code, and you'll get a bunch of quotes that you can compare if you live in a no-fault state and that's the kind of coverage that you need. But even if you live in a no-fault state, the property damage is still falls under tort laws, basically. You are responsible for the damage that you cause. I'll continue on here. If an accident victim wants to sue someone who harmed them, the defendant can claim comparative negligence to reduce the plaintiff's recovery. So I'm going to jump over here to autoinsurance.org. They're talking about, in this article, fair claim settlements. And you see they have a little definition, a good short, simplified definition of comparative negligence. The degree to which each party is at fault for the accident, which can impact the settlement amount. So if two cars are in an accident and it is decided that they are each equally at fault, then in most states, that means that each party will be responsible for their own cost of that accident. So if one car had $10,000 of damage, another had $20,000, but both parties were equally at fault, the person with $20,000 would be responsible for theirs, the person with $10,000 would be responsible for theirs, and they wouldn't be able to go after the other party. Now, in most states at 51%, then that's the majority fault. So if there's an accident that is 51% or higher one party's responsibility, then the other party can go after them for damages. Going back to this Forbes article, what is comparative negligence? When a person is hurt by someone else, the injured victim can file a personal injury claim. That's what you would file with insurance. Now, where it gets interesting here, we'll go down to this last paragraph in this section. It's helpful to look at an example to understand how this works. If an accident victim suffered $100,000 in damages in an accident and the defendant was 80% responsible and the victim was 20% responsible, the victim could pursue a claim and recover $80,000, which is 80% of $100,000. So in a situation where somebody was 51% at fault, they could go after, the other party could go after them for 51% of their damages. They may go after for the full amount, but the insurance company will argue that they're only responsible for the percent of the accident that their customer is responsible for. So that's how insurance fits in, is that insurance will cover, you have insurance to cover your car insurance claims. If you only have liability insurance, your insurance is only going to cover the damage you do to another party. And if the fault is not entirely your fault, it will cover the percentage of fault that you had. So what if you want coverage for your own vehicle? So let's say another person causes an accident with you and maybe they're found to be 70% at fault. You can go after them for 70% of your costs. So let's just look at property damage. And if your vehicle costs $50,000 and they are 70% at fault, your car's total, you're out $50,000. You might think that their insurance company should settle with you for $50,000 of property damage, but they're only going to settle with you for 70% of that. And now you're stuck with the rest of those costs if you want to replace your vehicle. And so having first party coverage is really important. So we're going to jump over to this Insurance Institute article here, Insurance Information Institute article on what is collision coverage and what is comprehensive coverage. And those are first party coverages that are going to cover you in an accident. And they're not based on fault. It will, in a case where there's comparative negligence and the other party doesn't fully reimburse you, it will cover the rest of it. But if you are at fault in an accident, it will cover you fully up to the value of your vehicle. So it's a really important type of coverage to have, especially if your vehicle is worth a lot of money. If your vehicle is hardly worth anything, you might not need it. To find rates that are great, you're going to want to go to autoinsurance.org, enter your zip code. It'll walk you through some questions, you'll answer them, and then you'll be able to compare apples to apples of which insurance company offers you the best premiums. You're going to want to investigate, is that a good company? Is that a reliable, a financially stable company? But you will get some great quotes quickly and easily, and it's free. So definitely the way to go. Collision coverage will pay for damage to your vehicle in a collision. That's what we're talking about today, but comprehensive is often lumped in with that. And it's, when you put collision and comprehensive together, people call it full coverage. Comprehensive coverage covers you for everything other than collision. So we're talking vandalism, fire, theft, natural disasters, even hitting an animal. So what can you expect to pay for the state required minimum liability coverage? Here we have this great US average. Now it's going to vary a lot by where you live and your driving history. But this is just a national average with just some different companies. And this first, the orange, the tall, the expensive premiums, those are for 16-year-olds. Young drivers pay the highest rates, as you can see visualized in here, just super high rates. And then the blue is, we're talking about 30-year-olds, and the gray, we're talking about 50-year-olds. So you can see through your life insurance, well, it takes this drastic drop, and then it starts to drop more slowly as you age, and then they start creeping back up again when you become a senior citizen. But we can see here, overall, it looks like Geico's rates are quite low. There, we're looking at $119 for a female, 16-year-old, $125 for a male. You compare that to Allstate, and Allstate's rates are double what Geico is for that age group. So when you're doing your own research and you're trying to find a insurer that's right for you, it could be different than this. Geico's not right for everybody, but you're definitely going to want to review the ones that are nationally, their average is lowest, because maybe they are right for you. So why don't you head over to autoinsurance.org, compare rates for yourself, enter your zip code, and see how much you could save on car insurance. So I'm just going to show you really quick how we do that. You can go to autoinsurance.org, just their regular homepage, or any other articles like this one that's talking about a fair claim settlement, has some great information about getting a fair claim settlement. But at the top of all of their pages, you're going to see this box here, and that's your key. That is your free key to getting good deals on car insurance. You're going to start by entering your zip code, say get quotes, and then you're just going to follow through with answering some questions. And there you go. So hopefully that cleared up some things for you about what comparative negligence is and how that could affect you, and why insurance is directly related to it, and how insurance can help you if you're not getting the settlement that you think you deserve.